It's a good day for a good day. Welcome to Quarantine Chronicles number 11. I told you I'd be stoked when we got here. It's a big landmark for us. This is a moment in time. I'm gonna start off with some bad news so we can just get it over with. Next Tuesday, I have a 15-page paper due at 11 a.m. that's basically going to decide whether or not I graduate from college. So there's probably not gonna be a video next Monday. So I'm very sorry. The QC 2020 challenge was pretty good. We're gonna look at some of the entries here. Let's see what we got. Here's the Scots. The number one thing that bothers me about this image is all the snow in the background. But these girls are having a great time. I'll give a pass to the fact that Sela is definitely not a teen. I'll let it pass. I love it. Let's see what else we got. This is the St. Denis family underneath their pool. I have no idea what they're sitting on, but I don't recommend it. However, everyone's there. You got Tyler, Brittany, Sammy, Tab. Looks like Paul. Jordan seems to be back there wearing the hat, and I'm gonna assume that's Mikey in his hoodie in between Tab and Paul. I dig it. You got the whole family there. This is a family moment. We love it. What else do we got? Jack and Tori. Something tells me that you weren't actually watching the video at this moment, but this is a great picture. And there's no snow to be found. You love to see it. And then here's the Autocalos looking at it inside their dryer with the caption, "Drying our quarantine tears away." Aiden gets points for the fact that he had a caption, but that's funny. Putting it inside the dryer. See, Aiden's actually fancier than me because I don't have a dryer with like a screen on it. My dryer, you just shut it and then you just hope. Very good use of what you got, Aiden. Very good use of what you got. I was sitting at home the other day looking up at my ceiling fan, and I mean, it's not the best ceiling fan. It's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's up there. Bet you didn't even realize that one was a joke. What can I say? We are staying in the Songs of Ascent in the book of Psalms. Last time we were in Psalm 127. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. That's a banger. We're gonna jump ahead now to Psalm 130. Now bear in mind there's 15 Songs of Ascent and we are in the 11th. So imagine you're walking up the steps to Jerusalem and you're reading these in order. You're almost there. So keep that in mind when we're going through Psalm 130. It goes like this. Out of the depths I have cried to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If you, Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? But there is forgiveness with you, that you may be feared. I wait for the Lord. My soul waits, and in his word I do hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than those who watch for the morning. Yes, more than those who watch for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy. And with him is abundant redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. There's two things in particular that I want to look at in this passage, and the first one is in verse 3. If you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, who could stand? Verse 4, but there is forgiveness with you that you may be feared. I was asked the other day by somebody, what does it mean to fear the Lord? And I think that that's a good, relevant question to us right now. What does it mean to fear the Lord? It doesn't necessarily mean to be afraid of him. He's not the boogeyman. But fearing the Lord is to understand and respect all that he can do and has the power to do. What we see in the Bible is that everybody who comes in direct contact with the glory of the Lord falls on their face. Okay? They're just like, I can't. No, there's no way. Now, they're not scared of him. Like the fear in play there is not the same fear that we have of the monsters under our beds. It's a recognition that the God we're dealing with is like beyond all comprehension of power. He is infinitely glorious and infinitely powerful. So in relation to our constant understanding of our mistakes and our shortcomings, to be confronted with the epitome of perfection, it should kind of make us think like, holy smokes, like that kind of fear. So that's why this author is writing, if you, Lord, should mark iniquities, then who could stand? Because in light of your perfection, anything looks like iniquity. I have to confront my detestable sinfulness in front of a God who knows nothing but perfection. But what does he say? But there is forgiveness with you, that you may be feared. He jumps down to verse 7 and he says, Israel, hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is abundant redemption. This is crazy. Lord, you are so perfect that you could nitpick everything that I've ever done and it would be completely justified. You have every reason to see every action I've ever made and grade it on its sinfulness, but you don't. With the Lord there is forgiveness. Titus chapter 3 says, when the goodness and loving kindness of God our Savior appeared, he saved us not according to works done in righteousness, but according to his mercy. Come on now. A lot of times we see the Old Testament and the New Testament as like different versions of God. The New Testament is like merciful and graceful, and the Old Testament, we think of it as like God when he's angry. But that's just not the case. Hebrews said that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when we see Psalm 130, a book that was written when the only things available to the psalmist was Genesis through Deuteronomy. You didn't have the book of Romans. You didn't even have Rome. And so our perspective that the Old Testament God is angry just doesn't add up. With the Lord there is mercy. It's good stuff. In a little bit, we're gonna play one of my favorites, Change My Mind. Our friends are gonna have the insurmountable task of changing my mind, changing my opinion, and all my opinions, I believe, are completely correct. So let's see how they do. Jake, you are the first person to make a repeat appearance in the Quarantine Chronicles. It has nothing to do with the fact that we've been best friends since we were 0 years old.
Nothing to do.
Completely coincidental. The game today is, you're gonna love this, Change My Mind.
Oh, okay.
Now this is for the folks at home. No one in the history of time itself has tried to change my mind more than Jake Brown.
It's true.
There's no one. The person doesn't exist.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, different waters from different bottles taste different.
I'm actually have to agree with that. They do taste different.
Bang!
Now, do they taste different enough? If we're talking like percentages, I give it like a 1% different.
Okay.
Like, we're talking like a tiny, tiny difference. I don't know. I go back and forth on this one.
You're on the seesaw about it. Let me tell you why you're wrong, Jake.
I'm on the fence.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. I consider myself to have a refined water palate. I drink a lot of water from a lot of different bottles, and here's what I found. Dasani water and Aquafina water, absolutely blow. They're so bad. They taste like they've been made in a factory.
Now, but see, when you compare those to like a Fiji, the Fiji does feel a little smoother.
I'm saying this. Fiji is good. Essentia is good. That Evian water, the French stuff, holy smokes, it's good.
But here's what you need to do. If you think you're so confident in this, because you also thought that you could tell the Skittle flavors apart, no problem. We saw how that went.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
We need a taste test.
I knew they were all different flavors.
Well, let's see. Let's see if we can do a taste test.
Wow.
And you can say whether this is good or not. And then if you pick Aquafina as good, your whole argument doesn't work anymore.
Let me tell you something, Jake. You're putting me on the hot seat here.
I'm calling for Bree DeWald to make another appearance for another taste test.
Whoa! So, Jake, you didn't change my mind, but you did put me on the hot seat.
I want to see it.
We'll
I
count
want
it.
to see the proof.
We'll count
I'm on
it.
the fence. I can be pushed either way, depending on how your taste test goes.
I love it. Change my mind.
Wait, I didn't hear what he
He
said.
said different waters from different bottles taste different, but I agree with that.
Oh, she agrees.
Yes, I agree.
Kennedy, here's my thing. Aquafina, Dasani, they taste like they've been made in a factory. They are
Yeah, like
bad.
some of them taste more like they have more chemicals in them.
Those waters are bad. But on the other hand, Fiji, Essentia, Evian. Have you ever had Evian water?
I don't think so.
Stuff is so good. The French people make it. C'est très magnifique. Different waters taste completely different. There's like
Yes.
the mineral difference. You can really get into the nitty gritty, and you can get into like the calcium content, the alkalinity, the pH balance. Holy smokes, there's so much to water. I consider myself to have a refined water palate, and I'm sure you do as well, which is why we agree on this, that different waters taste different. Kennedy, this was smooth sailing for number 1, but number 2, you might have a little bit of pushback. Are you ready?
I guess so.
Pennies should not exist. Change my mind.
Well, that's a doozy.
I think they shouldn't exist.
I think they shouldn't exist because they don't help you with anything. Like what's like
Costs
1
more
cent?
to make than they're worth.
Yeah, it costs more to make than what they're worth.
It costs 1.95 cents to make a 1 cent penny. That's almost double
that's
value.
worth it. I mean, my favorite president is on it, but I just don't think that they should be here. They just don't help.
They just don't help. Change my mind.
100% agree. There's absolutely no reason for pennies.
Come on!
No reason. When do you ever use a penny?
Never.
Now, let me give you the counter argument though. If pennies shouldn't exist, should the value of 1 cent exist? So for instance, if you buy something for $5.23, do we have to change every e-commerce website to either be $5.20 or $5.25?
Here's my proposition. Your sales tax would no longer just be a lump percentage added on to your payment. It would be a lump percentage added onto your payment rounded up to the next 5 cents.
So what you're telling me is that you are now increasing the sales tax for everyone.
Maybe I could sell you on this. Round it down to the previous 5 cents.
That you could sell me on, but maybe not, the powers who be. If you could pull that off, I'd be all for it.
Jake, number 3. Ravioli is the best pasta. Change my mind.
Best pasta. So pasta, we got spaghetti.
Yup.
We got the bow tie noodles.
We do have bow ties.
We got the shells.
Shells.
We got lasagna.
Well, lasagna, the big long noodle, not lasagna the dish. Because lasagna the dish is not a pasta. It is a pasta dish. Much
So you're
like
talking just the noodle and the little pouch, but nothing inside the pouch.
no, the pouch is included.
Well, then the contents between the lasagna noodles have to be included too, right?
Well, no, because lasagna is a dish. You're putting pasta into boiling water, you're taking it out, you're putting sauce on it, you're eating it. Ravioli is the best pasta.
I don't think this has ever happened in our entire friendship, but for all 3, I gotta say I agree. You can stick anything you want in that pouch, and then you got extra flavor packed in. So you got the sauce on the outside of the ravioli, on top of whatever you put in that pouch. It's a double whammy there. With the other pastas, you don't got any pouch to put stuff in.
I mean, you do with tortellini.
It's not the same though. It's only like a little bit. You want more stuff in the pouch. So you can stuff a bunch of cheese in that pouch, have the sauce on the outside. You can't get that with any other noodle, really.
Jake, this is unprecedented.
This is completely unprecedented. Never happened in the history of Tommy and Jake.
Let the record show that this has never happened. If you were to say that what the next best pasta noodle is, let's say ravioli is disqualified because of the contents of the pouch. What do you say is the best noodle?
Definitely saying bow tie. I love the texture.
Because then you can get the fork and you can like split. The bow ties are nice.
After that, I would say the shells. Also, and I'm putting elbow at the bottom.
Elbows are way at the bottom.
You know when you were a kid and your mom used to cut your like grilled cheese in triangles?
Oh yeah.
An elbow is like cutting it straight, like this, not a triangle. It's so boring. Triangles make everything, it makes it more interesting to me to eat the sandwich. Just straight 2 rectangles? No, nobody wants that. That's the elbow.
Oh my goodness.
Literally, you could make the same recipe with elbows and bow ties. Bow ties are way better.
100% of the time.
It's not even close.
Look at the synergy between the 2 of us.
Never happened.
This is crazy. Change my mind.
Okay, just me, but the texture of ricotta makes me sick. Like, I just can't do the texture. But if it's meat filled, hit me up.
Oh, okay. So I dig it. Okay. So ricotta's out. So then
Yes,
what would you
that's
say is your favorite pasta?
Penne.
The penne.
Or
Gamelli?
Gamelli.
Gamelli, apparently. It's like the one that my mom cooks Alfredo in.
It's like a spirally penne.
All right. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I like it. What would
Yeah.
you say is the worst pasta noodle?
Angel hair.
Whoa!
They're just too thin, and I always choke on them. Like, no matter what I do, I just always choke on it.
Wow! Here's why that's crazy. Bree's favorite pasta is angel hair.
Sorry.
Would you rather you're about to have a bowl of pasta with nothing but tomato sauce and maybe some Parmesan cheese on it. What do you prefer? Angel hair or plain elbows?
Elbows, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
mac and cheese, they're
But for
fine, but like for pasta, no.
That's what I'm saying.
I think neither of those are good options.
Neither of them are good options.
We're a big fan of linguine over here too.
Yeah, you are. Linguine is very good. All right,
Mhm.
Kennedy, last but not least, tell me
All
the
right.
first thing you're gonna do after quarantine ends.
Like go say hi to all my friends, hang out for like 30 minutes, and then move to the next house.
So you're just gonna rapid fire, be like, hey,
Yeah.
hi, how you doing? Give them a hug, and then, all right, I gotta go. I gotta see the next person.
Yeah.
I love the rapid fire. I dig it, Kennedy.
First thing I'm doing. Honestly, I'm gonna say hanging out with the fellas and the girls.
Hanging out with the fellas and the ladies.
I think that's the first thing I want to do. Or another thing I want to do, throw a giant teen party where all the teens come and I, teach some teens some lesson in ping pong or something like that.
Thank you to Jake and to Kennedy for playing the game and for, I guess, trying to change my mind from some of the most boring opinions I guess I've ever had. Make sure you tune in later this week, and next week there will only be a video on Thursday because of that big paper I gotta write. I hope you understand, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So until next time, stay healthy.